It's dizzy. I'm out at the farm with the horses, and you can see they had the rain sheets on. It's supposed to get cold tonight, and figure this would just give them a little bit of extra warmth, but I'm not normally out at the farm at this time of day because it's a Monday evening and it's getting dark out here. Was not part of my plan to be out here now, but I had a bit of a scare yesterday. Went over to a friend's house. She had some firewood for me. It does need to be cut up to the correct size and split and whatnot, but I picked up the firewood and she needed a hand with something. So I gave her a hand. It took longer than expected, and I did not get out here until later than I'd planned. So I get everybody fed because I was just feeding everybody, and I was going to go home and crash in front of my wood stove. I get done feeding, and Misty was hanging around the stall, and for some reason I checked her feed. I don't normally do that. And much to my surprise, she had barely touched it. So, knowing what I know about horses, in spite of the fact that she had no other symptoms, I did two things. Number one, I gave her a dose of Banamine. Number two, I called the vet. And it was getting late by that point in time. While I was waiting for him to come, I did some cleaning in the entry area and drove the truck in so that I knew by the time he got here it was going to be dark. And that would make it very hard to work because there's no light out here. And this way at least we had the headlights from the truck. I got out here. Yeah, sure enough, she had colic. No real indication of pain, no sweating, no biting at her side, no rolling, none of that. It was just that she wasn't eating. Made me realize right away what was going on. So he gave her a couple of shots, ran a tube down her nose, and told me that she needed to be walked for 20 minutes every hour. By that time, like I said, it was dark out here. It was possibility of rain, which meant that I wasn't about to set up the tent and camp out here, so I did the smart thing. Went home, Callie and Ann went home, got everything out of the back of the truck. Just basically dumped it, didn't worry about anything else. Grabbed a few supplies, came back out here. By the time I got out here, it was time to walk her. So I spent 20 minutes walking her. And like I said, it was dark out here. Then I spent time, got the back of the truck swept out. I do have the cap on the back. And got that all set up. I have a lounge chair with a 24-inch wide cushion for it, which is something that's normally out here. And I know that that'll fit in the back of my truck. The one that I normally use for camping, it's just a little bit too long. I don't know if I could have crammed it in the truck or not, and I wasn't about to try to find out. I thought that would be fine enough. So get that all set up. And by the time everything was all set up, it was time to walk her again. So I start walking her. I hadn't walked her long before lightning. And it's like, okay, I'm going to keep walking her. Well, I kept walking her, and we got about halfway done, and it started to rain. So I very simply came up closer in her area, and Callie and I got in the back of the truck, and I tried to take a nap. I don't like lightning. And there was quite a bit of lightning last night, and I found myself praying, Lord, keep me safe, because I did not like being out there, even in the truck, with the lightning. And try to fall asleep. And every time I started falling asleep, there was another flash of lightning, and I mean, it was bright. And some pretty loud rumbles of thunder. Have I mentioned I don't like lightning? Didn't really get any sleep then. And then time was up, and I had to go walk Misty again. Only problem is, it was pouring rain, and it was lightning. So I had made it so that Misty had this section and this section of the run-in. And it meant that Licorice could get into the last section. And so I got in here. The space is about 12 by 20. Do you know how hard it is to lead a horse around in this? There wasn't much else I could do. If I mentioned, I don't like lightning. But got the 20 minutes in and went back. And by the time I needed to take her out again, thunder and lightning had stopped, and I'd actually even gotten some sleep. So I was able to walk her around in the field. She didn't really want to walk around the field. I didn't really want to walk around the field either. I wanted to go to sleep. And while I fit on the lounge chair with the cushion, it wasn't exactly comfortable. And I was sore, and I wanted to go home and go to bed, but Misty needed to be walked, so we walked. And she kept trying to stop and eat, and of course I'm trying not to let her because I didn't think that she should be, since, it was the whole reason for the vet was because she wasn't able to poop. For those that may not know what it is with colic. And I figured if I let her eat, that would just make it that much worse. And then I had to do that again. And again, she wanted to eat, she didn't want to walk. I started telling her that if she were to poop, we wouldn't have to do this. I do not know how many times I did it, but at 4:40 in the morning, she had peed 3 times by then, but no poop. Back out in the field, she stops, she lifts her tail. I was never so happy to see a horse poop in my life. So we got her up here, got her back in her stall, locked her all in, and I went to bed. And I did not get up until after 7. And called the vet, and he wanted her basically to stay in. There's no way I can do that because Licorice did a couple of times get in here. She will duck under the stall guard that I put up there. She can't duck under the one here because I have it at an angle. And which meant that if I had tried to put any hay in here just for Misty, Licorice would have been getting in here and getting the hay. So I had to let her out. I did soak her feed though before I fed her, and I soaked the hay. Well, because I'm now leaving pretty early, I decided I had a chiropractor appointment and errands. I was just going to come back and check on her. And you can see she is really going for the hay. It has been soaked. You can possibly see water on the back of the stall there. Soaked all of them. Gave her some hay pellets, soaked them. And while I was out, I was near a Tractor Supply. I got a tub of electrolytes and I put that in the hay pellets, added water. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I've thought in the past that she may not be drinking enough. So with the electrolytes added, that's going to encourage her to drink. And it doesn't look like I had to worry about it building up in her system, because that's one thing you do have to worry about. So she looks 100% better. And I'm going to get going. I'm tired. I want to go home and relax in front of my fire, and I'll talk at you later.